KDH News. Today is February the 9th, and I'm Ricky Green. In our top story today, a Killeen man is sentenced to life in prison over weed. The 2020 murder of a 20-year-old Killeen woman is closer to resolution after one of two co-defendants pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. On March 29, 2020, Caitlin Silvero of Temple was found shot to death allegedly during a drug deal. On April 1st, 2020, Dejana Monte Williams, who also is known as Dewana Monte Williams, and Cedric Vernon Henderson Jr. were booked into the Bell County Jail and charged with murder. During a hearing on January 27th in the 478th Judicial District Court, Henderson, 22, pleaded guilty to a first-degree felony charge of murder. During the same hearing, Judge Wade Faulkner sentenced him to life in prison. Henderson was being held in the county jail this week with no bond. A jury trial is set for Williams, 21, on March 27th, court records show. She was being held in lieu of bond of $250,000. On the night of March 29, 2020, Killeen police responded to the 3,000 blocks of Hereford Lane near Canterbury Drive in reference to a shooting victim. The officers found Silvero lying in the roadway, suffering from a gunshot wound. She died almost 2 hours later at a Temple hospital. Williams told police that she knew Silvero as Kate and had purchased marijuana or weed from her in the past, according to an arrest affidavit. She and Henderson had agreed to hit a lick and purchase weed from Kate with counterfeit money, police said. Henderson admitted to robbing Silvero and said that he and Williams pulled their guns and pointed them at Silvero to take the weed without paying, according to an arrest affidavit. According to Henderson, when Silvero flinched at him, he got scared and shot her. When they saw Silvero clutch for her chest, Henderson and Williams fled the scene and were arrested 3 days later. In our next story, lots of breaking news here in the Killeen area. A deadly stabbing at a Killeen mosque leads to a murder indictment. My apologies for the technical difficulties, but we're coming at it. A deadly stabbing at a Killeen mosque in November led to a murder indictment earlier this week. On Wednesday, a Bell County grand jury indicted Raymond Cecil Kastner, 49, on a first-degree felony charge of murder. He is accused of fatally stabbing 69-year-old Muhammad Idris Khan on November 12, 2022, at the Islamic community of Greater Killeen. Khan, an Army veteran, was an emergency physician. Kastner was being held in the Bell County Jail on Thursday in lieu of bond of $1 million. According to a prior news release from the Killeen Police Department, Khan and Kastner were in a business relationship, and both men attended the mosque. The two men were inside the mosque when Kastner allegedly stabbed Khan with a knife, police said. Khan was pronounced dead at 1:37 p.m. at the scene. Multiple witnesses said they saw a long blonde-haired man repeatedly stab Khan, and another witness had seen the long-haired man in the area several times recently, according to an arrest affidavit. Police detained Kastner near the mosque after waiving his rights. He allegedly told officers that he snapped and stabbed Khan 1 or 2 times, according to the affidavit. Khan was stabbed 11 times, including 7 fatal wounds, police said. 2 of the witnesses identified identified Kastner as the man who stabbed Khan after police detained him nearby, according to the affidavit. Police also used security footage from the mosque to determine Kastner was a suspect. He was also indicted on Wednesday on an unrelated charge. Trevor R. L. Ford, of 31 of Gatesville, on a charge of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Also in police news, Anthony Freeman, 32 of Killeen, was charged of possession of marijuana of 5 pounds or less, but no more than 4 ounces. Justin S. Burse, 24 of Killeen, was charged with possession of marijuana, 5 pounds or less, but no more than 4 ounces. Natasha Catrice Collins, aka Natisha Morgan, 43 of Killeen, was arrested on a charge of possession of controlled substance less than 1 gram. Charles Smith, 32 of Killeen, was arrested on a charge of fraudulent possession of identifying information. Ryan Patterson, 34 of Killeen, was arrested on charges of possession of controlled substance less than 1 gram and evading arrest with a vehicle. Deshaun L. Connolly, 17 of Killeen, was charged and arrested of harassment of a public servant. August Sanders, 28 of Temple, was arrested on 3 charges of burglary of a building. Ronald D. Turner, 58 of Killeen, was arrested for sexual assault. Patrick Saboma, 36 of Killeen, was arrested and charged for assault of a family member of a household by choking. Sherelle L. Walker, 29 of Killeen, was arrested on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Willie D. Gray, 56 of Killeen, was arrested and charged with aggravated robbery. And that's what's in our police blotter this morning. On to one of our other top stories. There was a kidnapping reported in Killeen and assaults in Cove and Harker Heights. Now, this is on Monday. The CTC Patio Cafe Diner series opens up with the Lebanese cuisine. So we'll tell you about that in just a second as our content loads. The Central Texas College Patio Cafe Cuisine Night Dinner series opens this Friday with a menu of Lebanese cuisine. Prepared by students in the CTC hospitality program, dinner will be served from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the culinary arts area of the Student Center. First up is the appetizer, soups and salads. The appetizers are za'atar egg rolls, which are at $7.50, mini egg rolls, sambo sec, which are golden crispy on the outside, soft and salty on the inside, and Lebanese pita bread for just $2. The grilled pita bread, brushed with melted butter, is also on the menu. The soup is a shorbet adas, or Lebanese lentil soup, for $6.50 for a bowl or $3.50 for a cup. So you might want to go ahead and check that out. Again, the CTC College Patio Cafe Cuisine Night is this Friday at 7 p.m. at the Arts of the Student Center. And finally, in our news for the morning. A pretty popular story that everybody is pretty familiar with, but the community protest DeCruz acquittal Thursday at City Hall. And many of you are familiar with this story, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you again. Dozens of Temple area residents are preparing to spend their Thursday evening at Temple City Hall to protest the acquittal of former Temple police officer Carmen DeCruz, a Killeen resident indicted by a Bell County grand jury in 2020 for fatally shooting Temple resident Michael Dean during a traffic stop. A jury, which included a black man, found DeCruz, 55, of not guilty second-degree felony manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide after they reviewed hours of testimony and digital evidence. Meet me downtown at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, Patrick Aaron, a former classmate of Dean, said in a Facebook post. You can be unarmed and not a threat and be shot in the head by a cop, and nothing will happen to the cop. That's the message given today in Temple and in Bell County. The Temple-based sports agent had attended the trial since jury selection began on January 21st. I salute every single one of you for being able to sit in here, because if that was my brother or my son, I would have burned this whole city down, Aaron said of the Dean family minutes after the verdict was read. I've had burned that police station down. So to the Dean family, I'm sorry. Several others have taken to social media to voice their anger with the acquittal. This was sadly expected, and it's still enraging. Lily Cat, a Round Rock resident, said in a Facebook post. What did the jury of his peers look like? It's still Temple after all, and there's a lot of growing up and reckoning that certain people need to do there. My heart goes out to the family and to all of those who poured so much into this. Another referenced Todd Kavanaugh, a Temple resident, and his testimony about what happened in the moments that followed the shooting. As we were walking across the street, DeCruz said, Lieutenant, I explicited, my career is over. My family. Then he dropped to his knees. Kavanaugh said during his testimony on January 26. That piece of the story is Montemenu from Myrna Diaz Montoya and for many others. DeCruz knows he did wrong. Why else would he have said that, she said, so angered by his blatant miscarriage of justice. Again, this is Ricky Green with KDH News Live, February 23rd. Be sure to visit us at kdhnews.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and pick up our printed publications where they are available. We'll see you next time.